What is up, YouTube family? Thank you guys for tuning back in to Wilburn Shenanigans. My name is Chad, and this is we back with another great video. Today we are diving into, man, this video I've been seeing circulate for a long time, and the title I was like, man, I've never checked it out, never did. But it is a white guy speaks out on his first black cookout. I just want to know where he went, like which cookout, because there's different levels to the black cookouts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, did he go to the deep end of the black cookout,
like in the hood,
or was he
in the like middle class?
Yeah, like what area? We gonna dive in. Let's just see where he was at. Let's hear his story on the black cookout. Let's see.
Start this one off by saying I got a lot of black
friends. Like he's from Texas, okay? So he was even in the deep end.
Most of them got through playing football. They were my teammates. We've been to war together on the football field, love them to death. Now, with that being said, ever since I have had said friends, they have told me that I have a bad habit of putting them in white people positions. I do not fully understand what they mean, but they gave me the reference of like passing a cop on a 2-lane road because he's going underneath the speed limit. Apparently they ain't supposed to do that. It makes them nervous. Anyway, about a week ago, get a call from a buddy of mine. Play football together. Says, hey buddy, I want you to come to a cookout. Hell, you ain't got to hit me in the face with a wet mop. I like cookout. So I show up to the cookout. All right. As I step out of my pick-em-up truck, I realize that the only 3 white things at this cookout is the salt shaker, the napkins, and me. All right. As I'm walking up, I am being greeted by his grandma and grandpa, and his great-grandma and grandpa, and his 47 cousins. All right, which there's no way for me to remember all these people's names. Anyway, there's a long table where the food, everybody's eating at, okay? They bring me over and set me down at the head of the table. I'm already really uncomfortable at this point because I don't know what's about to happen. Well, they say the blessing and I get up to go fix my food. Well, I was not aware that at a black cookout you do not fix your own plate. They fix your plate for you. Now, they bring me a whopping Dixie plate that some bitch is rounded off like this with barbecue, okay?
He said the Dixie.
And I'm gonna eat it. Don't get me wrong, I don't waste food, I'm gonna eat it. So as I'm sitting there munching away, you know, just kind of getting my bearings about where I'm at, these 2 ladies walk up to me, 2 of his aunties, with 2 different potato salads.
Well, he deep.
Man,
he deep.
They say, we want to get your opinion on which one of these is better.
Yeah, he deep. Yeah, he in a deep barbecue.
Apparently, just because I'm white, I'm supposed to know the different calibers of mayonnaise. Well, I ain't finna piss nobody off at this cookout, okay? So I ate both of them, and I told them that they were just so damn good, both of them, I couldn't pick one. Now, at this current time, I am almost in a food coma, because I've ate so much, because I didn't want to disrespect nobody's cooking there. And then his great-grandma, Mama T, that's what they call her, she comes up to me with what looks like a 5-pound piece of cherry pie. Now, let me paint a picture for you. I've got the meat sweats. All right, barbecue sauce on my shirt. I'm drifting in and out of consciousness, and she's bringing me a 5-pound piece of pie. Now, I saw Friday After Next. I know what happens when you disrespect somebody's grandmama. I saw what happened to Craig and Day Day when they disrespect somebody's grandmama. You ain't finna be chasing me through these pines because we way out in the woods at this cookout. I'm white, not stupid. So as I eat this pie, which I'm eating this pie because I ain't finna piss off nobody, especially the head woman there, because she's ranked up top. That's great grandma. You don't mess with her. I finish this pie and I drift off into a Caucasian psychosis of a food coma. And I did just like this right here. Like I went, whew, I'm full. As soon as I lifted my head back up, the table I'm sitting at is no more food on this table. I don't know how long I was out for. But somehow, I'm still in the same chair. I have been dealt into a high-stakes spades game at an all-black cookout besides me. What the fuck is going on? How did I get here? At what point in my life did I take this turn to take me to where I'm at? And now the cards is in front of me, and I got no idea how to play spades.
Just got a deck.
None. I got no idea. All right, I'm white. We played Go Fish and Cornhole. All we did, we got bored one day, literally did the whitest thing possible, walked out in the field, got some corn, took our pocket knives and cut it off the stalk, all right, put it in a bag, went over there, found some plywood in the shed, cut a hole in it, put it on an angle, and we tossed it at each other. That's what we do. I have no idea what spades
thought of
is.
portals?
That may give me
Really?
the run around idea what the hell is going on with this spades game. I look at my hand and I realize that I probably got a pretty decent hand. Well, they asked me, they said, Zach, how many books you got? Which they had just explained this to me now. I'm talking about just now. I said, it looks like I got 8 books. Apparently that is the wrong damn answer for your first hand of spades ever, because as soon as I said I got 8 books, 3 Glock 9s hit the top of the table. I've got every damn spade you could possibly have and 3 other aces.
Oh my God.
Well, as I survived that round, I go to get up, and one of his cousins come over and taps me on the shoulder and said, hey, buddy, you want to go throw bones? I don't know what they're talking about. I ain't got a shitting clue what they're talking about. But I ain't going to piss nobody off. You got to understand, at this point, I'm in survival mode. I am not pissing not one person off at this cookout. I do whatever they tell me to do. If they want me to stand on my head and blow bubbles out of my ass, I will do it. Don't
What
touch me.
the heck?
Okay? Now,
That's random.
I did not know bones meant dice. I was leaning
said
they in a whole
dominoes.
different. Me too.
which
I
I
thought
kind of
those
knew how to
dominoes.
play from the Elks Lodge.
Elks?
Apparently, bones means dice. I lost $36 so fast my fucking head was spinning. Okay? And apparently when they yelled gator, that's just code word for white man loses, because they just took my money and I just put some more down until I ran out of money. Which is fine. Made it through that one too. Now, as I'm slowly trying to make my way back to my truck, I went over to thank Mama T. You know, I thank my buddy, I thank everybody on the way to my truck. And I've got my truck in my sights. I am zero in on my truck, trying to leave this place. Now, I get to my truck. I put my hand on my truck
To go
open it, and there's like a sense of relief that comes over me. Like I didn't piss nobody off, nothing went wrong. I went, whew, I made it. Now, as I open my door, I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn around. The whole damn cookout is behind me. Everybody there is right around my truck.
What?
With Mama T right there in the front and my buddy. And he looked at me and said, hey buddy, next week's Mama T's birthday, you coming back? And I looked at him,
Hell yeah.
bamboozled on what to say. And the only thing I could come up with was, you damn right I'm coming back. That's the best damn barbecue I've ever had in my life. I don't know if you've ever been to All Black Cookout, but I'm going to tell you something. If you get the invitation, you better take that shit, because that is the best food you ever going to get and the nicest damn people. I was scared shitless. I ain't going to lie. I'm a big guy. I was acting like a little bitch. I didn't know what was happening. But at the same time, that's the most fun and some of the best people I've ever been around in my entire life. I'm going back next week. I told them, I said, y'all need me to bring something like some ice, because I ain't trying to cook with y'all. You want some ice or like some you want me to go get my little cousin Kyle that wears monster hats and shit and bring him, you know, so he'll feel at home. He got wife beaters and stuff. What y'all need? They told me I couldn't bring nothing but myself, me, and I, which I will be there. I'm white, not stupid. I ain't pissing nobody off. Shit.
That's what they said. Oh my God.
That was so funny. That was
I
so
love
good.
it. I love it, man.
I thought bones meant dominoes.
I know we eat bones and dominoes for me too. I didn't know it was a
I
dice
didn't know it was
game.
dice.
It's so crazy. My take for this, man, it brought back, because it's
beautiful.
not there no more though.
At all.
Man, I remember having those barbecues and getting together. Maybe back south. I know y'all, the Southern hospitality back there, y'all keep it. But man, here in Cali, man, I don't remember the last time I even had a big barbecue like that. Like it's scarce, and it sucks. Like I was listening to this right now, like thinking when my grandma on my dad's side was living. And we used to always get together. I remember having these big family get-togethers, like barbecuing, and exactly how he explained it. The spades table, all my great aunts was there. The dominoes was all the uncles.
The music.
You had the ice chest full of Budweiser. That's what they drunk at ours.
You had the
kids
nasty barrel juices.
Yep.
Nasty barrel juices.
I remember the day they be like, they got hot links, ribs. Why kids always had that at hot dogs and hamburgers? You had to go sneak a rib.
That's
Like a rib was so forbidden for the kids.
Potato salad.
Yeah.
The kids got potato salad.
It's like the hot dogs and hamburgers for the kids.
Yeah.
I can't get a rib, bro. Like that's cool.
Our family, they gave us everything.
No, as we got older, we was able. But it was forbidden for a reason. Like hot dogs and hamburgers for y'all. Y'all get a rib later. Like I became a teenager, I was invited to the rib side, like in the hot links.
You had the
That was
eyes.
messed up.
Then you had the uncle with them sandals on.
Sneak into the if he ain't barbecuing with the sandals, the barbecue ain't coming out right. You better have that uncle over there with the see-through button up. You know that summer one
with the shorts,
the shorts and the brown sandals. If they not on, the barbecue ain't, and the towel over the shoulder
or on top of their head.
You gotta have the towel
or on top of the head. He constantly because he's sweating.
If it ain't there, the barbecue ain't coming out right. And if he ain't over there with some water, putting it on the ridge, putting the fire down and smoking it.
And then it's like usually, in the summer, so you got water balloon fights and running around the park and everything. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, ours was always at a park.
And if you don't got
we never really did it at nobody's houses. It was always at parks.
Why is that the house? My grandma's always.
It was always at parks.
And if that uncle, when you go to that uncle that's barbecuing, if you don't get a story, it ain't the right barbecue either. As soon as you come out, let me show you something, youngster. Let me show you. You see these ribs right here? They've been smoking since 6 this morning. It's gonna fall. Pull the bone out, it fall right out the bone,
and he
boy.
over there just tasting it constantly.
Let me show you something. Like, if you ain't got all that, it ain't the right barbecue. But man, listen to him tell that story. It was just.
You got me thinking about my childhood.
It was beautiful, but it's funny his experience though. That is true though, because even like being black and at a barbecue, I remember going to my black friend's barbecue, like his family cooking, and I remember his aunts kept I was like, oh my god, like we full. She's like, you can eat some more, baby. Just get one more. All right. So you like, oh my god. Oh, it's the dessert, the peach cobbler.
Is that weird though? I feel like that's so crazy though, because he said majority of the time the men, they don't get up.
They don't.
That's true. They get their plates brought to you.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I think about that. I still do that no matter where we are. If we go to a family gathering or anything, I get his plate for him. It's just a habit. And he'll it's crazy because you really sit there and wait for me to get it back to throw in the trash. You don't throw it in the trash. Why do you do that?
Because my mom used to do it. Hell, my mom still do it today. I just beat her to the kitchen. I'll go in I got it, mom. She'd be like, oh, I'll put it on your plate.
It's so weird though because thinking about it now, that's true. The women will always get the plates ready and stuff like that.
She used to be when we got together, she see my mom, how she used to cater to me. She's like, you such a mama's boy. I'm like, hey.
I catered to you.
I know, but I'm saying you used to be like, you such a
His mom ironed his underwears. That's doing too much.
You such a mama's boy.
She used to iron his underwears and everything.
But it's cool to see that, man. It's cool.
There's a difference between a wife and a husband and then a wife to a mama's boy. There's a big difference.
I'm going to tell my story on my first white cookout. Look, it was beautiful. Well, I remember because where I grew up at was suburban. I grew up in a hood when I was young. I was about 13, and then we moved. My parents, we moved out. We moved to the moving on up. So we moved to the suburban area. I remember my first time coming out here. I was the token black man. Man, I remember my friend. I went to his house and he was like, "Oh, my dad won barbecue sauce of the year. This and that. He be going to bar." And I'm thinking to myself, I ain't never had no white people make me no barbecue, So I'm like, all right, let me see what you talking about. Let me tell you something. He brought this mason jar out, and they from
mouth watering.
What? We went he's my dad from the I forgot where he was from. I can't remember. He brought this big old mason jar out of barbecue sauce, and he gave the whole because we played basketball. He gave the whole basketball team one. Oh, y'all all take this sauce before we tried it. But he was making the barbecue right then and there. He just gave it to us before we even tried his food. So when I seen his dad, and mind you, his dad had the sandals on, the shorts, and I was like, that's your dad? And I'm like, oh. So he cut the hot links up, put it in the sauce, and I remember this skillet. It was a black skillet he had it in. Cast iron. And I was like, oh, he using the cast iron? So then he took a link and he got put on a fork and he gave us one. He's like, taste that. When I tell you I hit this, and I said, man, he got to be raised by black folks. He's like, brother, I'm from Texas. I was like, oh, they cook like this in Texas, huh? And I went back home and my dad from Texas, and he was like, yeah, all out there, you see all kind of. And I was like, Dad, I was a little scared though, but I was like, my dad, I was like, you gotta try. I got home, I was like, Dad, you gotta try this sauce. I tell you, it's the best barbecue sauce I ever had in my life. And
did you have a whole go
burger? And my dad, he hit it. He was like, he make this? I was like, yeah, from scratch. He be winning awards and stuff with this. Man, when I tell you that barbecue's off the chain, I was like, I ain't never had this. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even know y'all cook. And he was like, dude, I was like, Dad, I didn't know they get down like that. He was like, all in the South, that's like that. I was like, oh. I was like, okay, but the sandals. His dad had the sandals on. It was the sandals.
That was the seller.
But his dad didn't look like he was that barbecue dude, though. I swear I thought it was going to come out dry. I thought it was going to come out dry as hell. All I thought about was beef jerky. I was like, oh, it's going to be dry. it's gonna be dry.
Beef jerky.
My mama always told me don't eat everybody's cooking, but I was like, I can't be rude. Like my mom always said don't eat everybody's cooking, but she always said you gotta show respect.
So it's like, which one am I doing?
So I'm like at the table like, oh man. But the whole basketball team there, so it's a few black of us. It's a few black folks there. Like it's like 3 of us. So it's enough to be like, okay, if they don't eat their food, I cannot eat mine. Mm-hmm. So they hit it and I see them like, I was like, oh, let me try. I was like, oh, your dad can cook. Man. Like I was just like, so I get it. It's vice versa, brother. White people can cook too. Y'all need to quit acting like they be saying to come to the black cookout. I done been to some white cookouts. I grew up in them neighborhoods. They can cook too. I done been in some white, and I'd be like, look, brother, you been raised out? Your mama black. They'd be like, nah. Remember? Oh, River Grill. Look, we got a restaurant here right now. They are Hispanic. When I tell you, I asked the dude when he came out, I said, who back there cooking? He was like, oh, my mom owned the restaurant. And I looked at him, I'm like, but you Hispanic? Like, what?
No, we thought he was white.
Yeah, we thought he was white. And he was like, nah, my mom, we Hispanic. He's like, she owned all of them. And he's like, oh, she created the whole menu and everything. Like, she created.
That's our spot.
I said, what? They got grits, catfish. I mean, the whole menu. I'm like, where you from?
Green tomatoes.
Man, look, I stopped judging.
Look, we will literally faithfully go there once a week.
Look, I'd have been.
Sometimes twice.
So now, when I sit down, look, I used to be like, did they got black cooks back there? Now I sit down, I be like.
Sean stupid stuff was like, I want to meet his mama. I'm like,
I'm
stop.
not person now. I didn't call some cooks out. She be like, don't do it. I'd be like, who back there cooking? I didn't ask before. Hey, who back there cooking? They be like, oh, it's this, and it. Tell that man. Whew. And they go tell them they be back there rolling. Last time I did, they was back there crying. I was like, tell them they can cook me anytime.
It's good. That food's so good. We love it.
But this is hilarious. I love it. Thank you guys for tuning back in. We will see you in our next video.